Bengaluru, Karnataka IT BT and Rural Development Minister Priyank Kharge has said the state's proposed Disinformation Bill aims to name and shame those spreading falsehoods and hold platforms accountable for amplifying misinformation, without restricting free speech or satire. Speaking at a policy dialogue on truth, Cross Technology organized by Ikigai Law and NLSIU Bengaluru, Kharge stressed that technology-powered misinformation, including deepfakes and AI-driven content, poses a serious threat. A single click can spark chaos, he said, arguing that platforms allowing harmful content share responsibility. Kharge said the government plans to table the bill during the Belagavi Winter Assembly session. Legal experts at the event cautioned against government-controlled truth verification and warned that criminalizing speech could undermine democracy. They highlighted constitutional limits under Article 19, calling for civil accountability and platform responsibility instead of harsh criminal laws. Media representatives expressed fears the law could be misused against journalists and content creators. They pointed to past cases against news anchors in Karnataka as examples of potential misuse. Panelists also noted global debates over regulating misinformation, stressing the need for balanced frameworks and greater public digital literacy.
Deepfake videos, cloned voices, and fabricated documents that appear entirely authentic. Now a single click can spark chaos, and hence we want to bring in laws to rein in misinformation and regulate the platforms that amplify these, thereby who are violating their own public policies. See, we are not trying to just bring in some rule, like every platform, whether it is Meta, whether it's any other public platform, they have their own public policies. And by allowing such information to be amplified on their platform, they're also indirectly, I'm not saying directly, you cannot monitor everything, they're also indirectly responsible, and it violates their own public policy. So all we are trying to do is that we want to get all these platforms and the laws of the land under one ambit, so that we can be able to, I wouldn't say curb, but at least regulate information that is harmful. And more importantly, people, the media thought that we are trying to curtail freedom of speech. I had a 3.5 hour, the longest press brief in my life with them. 3.5 hours, I answered all their questions. I offered them a seat within the committee as well, so that they can help me flag what it is. And more importantly, the bill that we intend, the draft bill that we are discussing with the Department of Law and Department of Home, excludes satire, parody, opinion, and art. And we are not criminalizing humor, dissent, or creativity. We are only criminalizing the spread of harmful falsehoods presented as a fact. And our intention is pretty clear. We intend to protect citizens. We intend to protect constitutional institutions. We intend to protect democracy, social order from deliberate falsehoods that cause harm. And the government has already piloted the Information Disorder Tracking Unit under during the recent Parliament elections. So it is something that we are not just bringing in as a knee-jerk reaction. We piloted this for over 90 days. We had the use of technology. We used startups. We used technology pretty efficiently. We used research scholars to debunk these fake narratives that were floating. And more importantly, we traced the origins of the misinformation,
which are rather systematic. Because what you spoke in the end towards about what the achievements of the IDTU, which is the tracking unit, was that only 18 criminal cases continued to date, right? And within the BNS, there are provisions that are already there which take action against speech. There are Supreme Court judgments, like the Pravasi Bhalai judgment, which define hate speech, comments by different judges on fake news. There is already enough regulation and enough framework and jurisprudence for regulation in today's context.
Ma'am, I request you to keep your remarks really
Yes.
short.
So what is the need right now in this particular context, and what has been the steps taken to already implement the regulatory framework?
With respect to your first question on that there are already existing laws and existing regulations and that needs to be implemented, that's something that the government of Karnataka is doing. If you recently saw, there was a hate speech that was given in the Karavali area, and the gentleman who gave that hate speech was never called to a police station in his life, and he used to get away with it every time. And last week was the first time I think he entered police station, just like any other ordinary criminal. And yes, there is go for overnight. We cannot ensure that these things are implemented in its letter. That there needs to be more awareness on what the Supreme Court speaks about. In fact, recently during the commissioners and the SPs meeting, the Honorable CM was very clear about hate speech, and we have given them handbooks on what to do and what not to do about when it comes to speaking like that. Now 3-4 people are speaking. It is reduced, but the idea is to ensure it does not happen at all. And your second question about public consultation, we also consulted not just it was just not an interdepartmental consultation. We did have some stakeholder consultation, including corporates as well, who are building on these technologies and how they classified information. We had public consultation with individual lawyers. We had public consultations with people who are better, people who have been working about this. So if there is anything more that anybody has to add to it, or if you have any, take note of it, and if it is possible, we will definitely include it in the draft. But as long as things are in line with what it is to be done legally, I am sure that your campaign, during your campaign, you must have met a lot of legal minds who things might be different in UP, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, or etc. And maybe those ecosystems have we might have missed something. I'm not sure. I'm not saying that it is whatever we are bringing in the bill is hardwired or hard-coded. We're definitely more than happy to look at it if you can give it to us in writing. And the idea is to ensure that we come up with a solid amendment act with what stayed in the Bombay High Court. So we are just not bringing in anything new. We're just connecting the dots, bringing everything under one umbrella.